Hello. Hi, everybody. Let me see. Last time I forgot to put the comments on, so we'll see if it works. Live chat. Yes. So, hey, everybody. If you are on the live stream, please let me know in that little chat box if you can hear me, if you can see me, and yeah, if we can comment and talk. Hey, welcome. See, I am pretty sure it's working, but hopefully. So if you're on the live chat, please leave a note in the chat box, just hi or your name. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much. That really helps. A. Evans. Great. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on. We'll wait a little bit. Hey, Christian, thank you so much. We're going to wait a little bit as always because the live stream, a lot of people are busy and they're logging in as we speak. But we'll, of course, get into the meat of things in a little bit, maybe at like 3 minutes, so that we can give everybody time to log on. If you're already here, thank you so much, girls. Just let me know where are you tuning in from, which city are you in, or which country. Of course, it's 8 p.m. Eastern time in the US and in South America, because I'm in South America, but maybe you're tuning in for somewhere else in the world. What time is it? So just let me know, and we'll get started shortly. Okay. And yeah, if you're here, you know that the topic for today is why no guy wants to be with you. Of course, I chose the topic or the headline a little dramatic. Florida, ooh, St. Louis, great. 7 p.m. Okay, Central Time. Yeah, because I just wanted, obviously, to get people to notice the topic, because I find this topic so important. Valentine's Day is coming up on Friday. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. If you are, let me know, what are your plans for Valentine's Day? Do you have any plans, or do you need any tips? Because I have a lot of great tips. And because of Valentine's Day, I have been talking to a lot of people, to a few of my clients, but also to just people on email. And it just seems like everybody has a little bit of like a miserable outlook on Valentine's Day. So I really want to speak into that, because I just think that as single women, there is such a beautiful time to be single, to really do something with your life, live your best life. And I want to dive into that straight in. So yeah, welcome to everybody who just tuned in. Please leave your name in the chat box or let us know where you're tuning in from, and we will get started in a few seconds. We're already at 3 minutes, but I'll wait just another minute and then we'll get to it. And yeah, of course, I will be taking questions at the end of this live stream, because I know that a lot of you will probably have questions. And just stay for the end. I received 2 emails with great questions, so we'll dive into those as well. Great. Awesome. Okay. Like I just said, the topic for today really is why no guy wants to be with you. It's dramatic, but I mean it in the best way, in the best, oh, my connection is lost. It's unstable. That is not great. Okay. Hello, I hope everybody can still see me. My connection was lost for a little bit. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I mean it in the best way possible, that why no guy wants you. And it's more about what the mindset is that no guy wants, and why you might be falling into that mindset, and how we can get out of it. So I have 3 topics that I want to talk about. I shared those in the newsletter already. So if you're on my newsletter, you probably already know. Number 1 is the main reason why guys are turned off by women. Number 2 is how you are wasting your single season. And number 3 will be why manifesting a relationship means that you have to surrender your desire. Of course, this one comes last because it's probably the most painful, but just stick with me here. Okay, number 1, the main reasons why guys are turned off by women. So that one, I think we all know it's very, very simple, but still happens a lot, and that is neediness. Neediness, no doubt, is the number one thing why men are turned off by women and why some relationships don't develop after the dating phase or don't ever get like very serious because one, either the woman or the man shows neediness. More often than not, it will be the woman. So, how does neediness affect a relationship? And what does it really mean? Neediness, very simple, means that your identity is dependent on the relationship. Or, as I like to say, your identity is dependent on your relationship status, which is even worse. But nowadays, with social media, we just got to be honest here. So, neediness means your identity is dependent on your relationship. Meaning, when somebody chooses you, when somebody wants to be with you, when somebody makes you their girlfriend or is interested in you, you feel good about yourself. But the moment there's no one in your DM, nobody shows interest, nobody's buying you flowers for Valentine's Day, in that moment, you don't feel good about yourself. You're depressed, you get upset, or you're anxious about your self worth. And that is really, really dangerous because what that means is you are dependent on someone outside of yourself to validate you at all times. And your happiness is a reflection of this. So your happiness is literally tied to your relationship status. When you're in a relationship, you feel good, you feel amazing, life is good. When you're not in a relationship, suddenly life is dull and void and everything is like horrible. And there's a really good quote, and I don't have it on top of my head, but it says that when a relationship is present, it only affects 20% of your overall happiness. But when a relationship is not present, it suddenly affects 80%. Just to say that we love to focus on the things we don't have. So the moment we have a relationship, we feel good about ourselves and everything is fine. But if we don't have it, we suddenly notice it more and more and more. And it affects almost every area of our lives. I don't know if one of you guys has been there. If you have, please let me know in the chat what your experience has been. I know personally and from a lot of people that are friends or that I talk to that they have experienced it, that suddenly when they're out of a relationship, all they think about is how do I get back into one? So that is really one thing, and that has all to do with neediness. And it's very important to remember that in a like there's a fine line between showing your interest to someone and being and suffocating the other person, right? Because of your neediness. So, do you become clingy? Do you seek attention and really want this other person to validate you at all times? So you ask them probing questions like, "Do you like me? Do you love me? Do you think I'm the right person for you? What do you think about our relationship?" And you start comparing yourself, right? Let's say you compare yourself to the ex. You say, "What was your ex like? Did you love her? Um, do you think I'm more beautiful?" Again, all these questions, all that behavior is because you want to be validated by him. And and that really shows that you need him to make you feel valuable because without him, you don't feel valuable or without his appreciation for you. Okay. And that is very like dangerous, but also shows him that you are needy, but it also shows him that you're insecure. And I looked up insecure because I really wanted to make sure that I get this right. What does insecure mean? And the definition of insecure actually means that you're not confident, not secure, and not certain about yourself. So you are not confident in what you bring to the table. So let's say that's the case. You're insecure about who you are as a person, about the type of girlfriend you are, the value you bring to the relationship. And this person gets stressed because it makes him feel like he's the one that completes you. And first of all, that's a lot of responsibility on to put on a person, right? If he's He's like responsible for your happiness, to make you feel complete and make sure that your life feels great to you. That's a lot of responsibility. And secondly, if you need him all the time and you need him to validate you all the time, and he needs to make you feel better about you, what is the purpose for him to be in the relationship? If all he's doing is catering to you at all times, making sure that you enjoy your life and all this, why is he in the relationship? And I've talked about it a few times in my videos, and I love talking about it on my blog posts. A relationship is for both people to be enjoyed. So both people need to bring something to the table. Both people need to be a source of joy for each other, and not just one person catering to the other. So yeah, and let's say so for him it becomes more of a stress factor than trying to stay with you. And quite frankly, the only human beings that we accept to be completely dependent and needy without any like expectation in return are babies. And even babies get on our nerves, let's be honest. So nobody wants to be with a baby. Nobody wants to be with somebody who can take care of their own joy, happiness, and all these things. So if a guy feels like you fall apart the moment the relationship does, he's not going to want one with you. It's just as simple as that. And no guy wants that kind of responsibility. In fact, really no one wants that kind of responsibility. So you have to remove that need for outside validation before you get into the relationship. And I read a really good quote by Jay Shetty. I think I read it yesterday or the day before, which I just thought really nails it for this topic. And that is, you don't find your worth in a person, you find your worth within yourself, and then find a person who's worthy of you. So you need to find your self-worth and your validation within yourself before you get into the relationship. Now, how do you find that worth within yourself? And that brings us to the second topic. But if you guys have any questions, please use the chat box. A. Evans says that I have experienced the 80-20 thing. Keep dropping those gems. Yeah, of course. I think we all have, especially after a relationship ends. We all suddenly feel that void, that space that the person left behind, right? Because you used to spend so much time with that person. You have done, like, you've invested a lot of emotion. So it's normal that you feel it. But at the same time, you have to be realistic that a relationship is not 80% of your life. If it was, we all would be struggling. So yeah. So number 2 is how you are wasting your singleness. And you guys already know where I'm going with this. You need to find your worth within yourself, right? The only way that you will find your own self-worth within yourself is by establishing a relationship with God and seeing yourself through his eyes. And you start to understand, because when you're in a relationship with God, right, you start to understand yourself, your life, your purpose. And suddenly you understand why your eyebrows are mismatched. I mean, I believe in microblading, even though I haven't gotten it yet, but you start to understand why you look the way you look. You start to understand why you are shy and your sister, for example, is not. Because with these character traits, with the looks, like, there is purpose tied to this. So you're shy and maybe not as outgoing, because you will be able to relate to these people in a way that somebody else that is outgoing wouldn't. So you really see yourself through his eyes, right? And that's what your single season is for, to find out all that there is to know about yourself, how to understand yourself, and finally also how to love yourself. Because that's really the best way you can prepare yourself for a relationship. So if you're not working on yourself while you're single, you're really wasting your single season. And it is the best time to prepare, because that's when you can find out who you are and who you want to be later. And of course, I mean, I'm not saying don't learn how to cook, don't learn how to clean if that's important for you in your relationship later. I mean, by all means, go ahead. But working on your self-esteem, on your self-worth, on your self-love, everything self basically is the best way to get started. And you can do that by finding out what goes on up here. So what do I mean with what goes on by here? Obviously, I'm a dating and relationship coach, so I've done a lot of research. I've taken a lot of classes and got certified in a lot of the challenges, the hiccups, the problems that we face in relationships. But all that information is also available to you guys. Find out and use that time to really understand, what are my pitfalls? What are my struggles? Do I struggle with depression? Do I struggle with anxiety? Which is a big factor because a lot of women have an anxious attachment style. So if you have an anxious attachment style, you need to know these things before you get into a relationship. Not because you totally want to change and you can't be anxious anymore. No, you will always have a struggle in a certain area. But so that you can actually learn the tools and techniques to get yourself out of that anxiety around relationships. And also so that you can stop attracting people that don't match with your attachment style. If you have an anxious attachment style, one person you shouldn't be dating is an avoidant attachment style. But a lot of people don't know it and are actually attracted to that person more, which is really unhealthy. And Christian, you're saying, what do you do when your boyfriend tells you you're insecure? When your boyfriend tells you you're insecure, what you want to do is, first of all, you want to figure out if he's right. And if he's right, then you need to work on it like ASAP. And that's what I mean. You need to find out, what is the source of my insecurity? What is the source of maybe the anxiety that I have already? And how can I like work against it? And Aaliyah says, yes, love this. Thanks, Aaliyah. And all these things. So if your boyfriend says you're insecure, hopefully he's giving you feedback so that you can do something about it, and not just really blaming you, because that would be unfortunate, and also not really the best person to listen to, because if he's not willing to help you, it's not really nice. So so you want to work on this. You want to work on being insecure, anxious, depressed. You want to find out, okay, how can I work against it? What are the things I can do to overcome these struggles? And then what you also want to do in your single thing is you want to work on your personal growth. Because the last thing you want to do is to lose yourself in a relationship and have nothing going on for yourself once that relationship is over. And you all know I'm really big on purpose, on calling and on understanding what makes you come alive. And it's not easy, but it's very common to figure out what you want to do with your life before you get into a relationship, because that's when you have time for yourself. So let's say you have a job that you love. Find out how you can make sure that you will still love it in a few years from now. You can get a specific certification. You can become a teacher in that field. Anything that will fuel that desire and love for your life. And if you have a job that you hate, listen, I've been there, happens, then find out what else you can do. Maybe you can enjoy your job more if you spend the evenings working on something else, like having a hobby, learning a language, working on your side hustle. That's something I did, for example. I didn't enjoy my job back then, so I had to find something that I would do in the evenings that would really fill me up, so that I would actually go to work the next day happy and excited, because I knew once these 8 hours are over, I get to do more of what I really want to do. And if you're unhappy with the way you look, because that's part of your personal growth, if you're unhappy with your weight, your look, your what you're wearing, then you need to change something about that. Am I saying that you need to go and lose 30, 20 pounds? No, but if that's something that you truly think is adding to your anxiety, your depression, or your anxious behavior in a relationship, then yes, maybe look into how do I feel better about myself? If part of it is to lose weight, then lose weight. Part of it is to just feel more alive by I don't know, like judging yourself up from time to time, putting on some makeup, doing something with your hair, working out more, then that's part of what you need to do to feel good about yourself. And if you remember my video from the beginning of this year where I said the goal in 2020 is to feel good, that's still the motto. 2020 is about to feel good. And the only way you can feel good about yourself is by creating an environment in which you feel good. So find small things in each area of your life that you love and focus on them. So if it's at work and you love your coworkers, but not so much your job, focus on the love you have for your coworkers while you're at work. And affirm yourself of these things. Every day, just remind yourself, I love my coworkers. I enjoy my time at work. I like going to work. And yeah, so really the goal in your single season is to make your single life the best time of your life so that you attract the best relationship. Because when you feel your best, you attract your best. Because you will automatically weigh one season against the other. And you will say, like, wait a minute, my single life is pretty dope. What is this guy adding to my life? Because you always want someone to add to your life and not be the foundation of your life. Okay, Christian, you're saying you're feeling good already. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. If in German, I would say Christiana, but just in case, it's supposed to be said American, I'm going to say with Christian. So yeah, I'm happy you're feeling better already. I have content on self-confidence. It's a French name, Christian. Great, Christian, I can do that. Yeah, I have content about self-confidence on my YouTube channel, but also on my blog. And I'm definitely creating more content around the whole space of self-confidence, neediness, insecurity. So definitely stay tuned. If you want, send me an email and I will definitely give you a few more tips that I already know in that area on how you can make sure that you are less insecure and that you're more confident in a relationship. Number 3, manifesting a relationship means that you have to surrender with open hands your desire. And I'm doing this hand gesture because y'all know that's how you are supposed to pray. With open hands, not with a grip on your breast. And when you manifest, when you pray, you want to do this without a timeline, without a grip saying this has to happen. Then you want to say something like, God, I believe that you have marriage in store for me. Please continue to bless my life as a single person at my life currently, right? Until the right time for a relationship has come, and you want to entrust him with your heart's desire. You don't want to say it has to happen, but you want to say, I entrust you with your heart's desire because I know you have my best, because I know that you want to bless me, right? And which really brings me to the next point, which I said it in the email. I already got a few flags, which was about stop praying for your future husband every day. And I actually received an email, which I thought was really, really great earlier today, where she said that she does not necessarily pray for her future husband every day, definitely thinks about him every day. So for those of you who are in the same boat and saying, I don't pray for my future husband every day, I want you to go deep and think about it. Do you visualize, think about all the things that you want to do with that person in the future? And I say this with the utmost respect, but praying for your future husband every day and that he will find you in 2020 and following all these Instagram accounts that constantly bombard you with posts about your future husband, I declare that you will be married by this year, all these things, it's unhealthy. Why is it unhealthy? Because you know what it really does? It constantly reminds you of your lack. It constantly reminds you that In this present moment, there's no husband. But sometime in the future, there will be. And God willing, there will. But in your head, you will start to think how you need him, right? Because you're constantly in the future and saying, I will need him, how you want him in your life. And then you will get upset about the year, like about another Christmas without my future husband, another New Year's without my future husband, another Valentine's Day without him, right? How many of you, and I want you to be honest, how many of you are dreading Valentine's Day on Friday because last year around this time, you declared that this is my last Valentine's Day single, and now I want a man. I'm just waiting. Literally, I just want to know how many of you have spoken this about Valentine's Day, Christmas, New Year's, and said, I will be married by the end of this year. And then the next year comes along, and suddenly you feel this overwhelming feeling of lack again. So, yeah, but I have stopped to set these timelines because they're not realistic, or at least then we don't know. We just don't know. And the key to pray, to manifesting, like I said before, is that you have to surrender your desire to God, right? And I even got scripture out, and y'all know I do not quote scripture often, but in Mark 11:24, right, it says, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. And that was NIV, right? And in NLT, it says it even nicer. It says, I tell you, you can pray for anything, and if you believe that you have received it, it will be used. It will be yours. And of course, we know God is not a genie. So otherwise, right, I would be a millionaire. He's not a genie. But if your prayer, if your desire is asked with the right intentions and within God's will for you, you will receive what you asked for, right? That's what we believe. So if you believe, meaning that if you have faith, if you believe that God is able to provide your heart's desire, that you already received it because God created everything before the world. He already knew what's going to happen before the world was created. And you believe that it will be yours. Why do you feel the need to keep reminding God every day? Why do you feel the need to put a timeline on it? So, I mean, it's called future husband. So do not live in the future if you can live in the now. Like, manifest and like say your prayer, manifest, visualize, and then let it go, because you want to make sure that you're doing in the present what you need to do to get to that place. And again, by living in the now, you can focus on the things that are actually in your control, which is your own health, your own well-being, your own purpose, and praying for yourself to grow wiser as a woman. I'm not saying to grow wiser as a wife, because I know a lot of people will also put those prayers in, and that's also good. There's a time and a place for every prayer, right? But ask God in the present to work in your life with the belief that all the things that you're doing now will lead to the heart's desire that you have for the future. But do not live in the future obsessing over what you want to happen. And yeah, so that's really it. And with this manifestation, I actually have a really nice quote that I saw today. You guys are getting all the quotes today. And if you're not following me on Facebook and on Instagram, you should, because that's where I share all these quotes. And that is a beautiful quote because it really, really talks to that topic. It says, the flower doesn't dream of the bee. It blossoms and the bee comes. And I think that just explains it all, is keep blossoming, keep working on yourself, keep doing what you need to do in this present moment to become your best self, to enjoy your life to the fullest. And then you will attract the right relationship, the right man into your life. And yeah, that's really what it is. Like, keep speaking about it, but with the awareness that you don't need to obsess about it. And A. Evans, you shared another Bible verse, and delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Yes, for sure. And I mean, Matthew 6 also speaks about how you have to seek His kingdom first, right? Because that's really what it is. If you seek His kingdom first, so let's say you find your purpose and you pursue your purpose and you do all the things that you believe God has called you to do. On the way there, you will attract all the good stuff into your life. And this one says, delight yourself in the Lord. So delight yourself in what God has given you today so that you can truly be like this magnet for all the good stuff happening. Okay, anybody has any questions? Any questions? If you have any questions, please make sure you share them in the chat. We're already at 30 minutes. I've gone over time. I kind of knew it. I was hoping I wouldn't, but here we are. If you have any questions, definitely share them in the chat. You can also leave them as a comment later on, and I will get to them. But one question I received today was, one, how do you manifest properly? Okay, how do you manifest properly is also something I will be covering in a video later on this month or next month, I believe. But in order to manifest properly, I said it before, is that you want to, first of all, be very clear, have clarity on what it is you desire. What do you want? Once you know what you want to declare it. What I love to do is I journal it, but I journal it once and once only. So you speak your manifestation, you pray over what your heart's desires, you share it with God, and you surrender it to Him, right? It's one page in your journal. It's not every page for 364 days, 65 days. And you visualize it. You visualize how you want to feel in that moment. So if you're saying, I want to be married, then you visualize a day in that union. What would it feel like? How does the relationship make you feel? How does this person make you feel? Don't get caught up on who he is, what he looks like, which car he drives, but really on how does he make you feel? Does he make you feel safe? Does he make you feel loved? Does he make you feel like you're at peace, like you can be yourself, all these things. And then you do one-on-one sessions. Yes, Christian, I do one-on-one sessions as well. You can, I will link it in the description box below, but you can find it on my website. I have a relationship coaching course and I do one-on-one, and I also have like single sessions, which is like one session if you want to talk about something specific like insecurity. Yeah, so you get clarity, you manifest it, you surrender it, and then you go about your day, because you actually are way stronger manifesting if you are very specific about what you're manifesting and then actually focusing on other areas of your life. So that's the way you want to manifest, and you want to make sure that, let me just look, here you go. You want to make sure that, you really give it your energy on that one day. And then another question that I received earlier today. Where is the email? Okay. What are ways to have fun in my single season? I have shared a lot of content on how to be happy single, how to be confident, how to stop comparing yourself. All these videos are available on my YouTube, but they're also available on my blog. So definitely make sure that you go in there to find out how to be happy single, how you can improve your single season. And obviously the video that I posted last week about how to enjoy Valentine's Day single is also one that you can use. So I will not go into detail on this, especially because we're already at 35. If you have no more questions, then I will end the live stream here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Christian, definitely I will share the information in the description box below right after this live stream, and you can find it on my website as well. Audrey, yes, you are too late. We're just getting ready to wrap up, but I'm pretty sure you can tune in it like from the beginning again. And obviously this live stream will be available. You guys, this is all I have on this topic for today. It's a topic that keeps on giving, so I'm pretty sure I will have more soon. But if you are struggling with Valentine's Day, just know that until you truly enjoy your single season, it will be very hard for you to attract a healthy, loving relationship because you will always enter that relationship with a feeling of lack. And that is not healthy. That is not going to help. That is not going to make a strong relationship. So you want to make sure that you first build your best life. And I just love that song because it came out at the right time, that you live your best life while you're single, and then all the good stuff will flock to you. This is it, girls. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you share this live stream with anyone that you think could benefit from it. And I will see you guys next week in my next video. So until next Wednesday, love and light.